Yup. Grand Rising. Good to see you this morning. Meant to do this yesterday, but sometimes when something from boxing comes about, when some news comes about, you have to address it. And I did. But we here. You know what I mean? And I'd like to say this is first of all, good morning. And Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we in the cave. And this is I like to say this is a special. This is a special show. When I got the news, when the rest of the world got the news, this brother passing, it hurt. It did, man. It really did. Because he's, to me, he's an icon. To me. To me, he's an icon because I'm going to go down the things that he's starting. And I don't think outside of Apollo, the youngsters, they don't really know how much work Carl Weathers put in sports and the silver screen and just in life. And sometimes things like this just happen. It was just his time. We don't know. There's no autopsy report. There was no word of him having a substance abuse problems that I know of. Things are subject to change, things of that nature. But sometimes it's just your time to go. And this man on the screen literally could do it all. Literally can do it all. And I don't think he's talked about enough. And it's unfortunate that, people, that you wait for them to pass for them to celebrate their life. I know it's, it's cliche to say, give everyone their roses while they can smell them. Excuse me. Hollywood really gonna miss this man. I watched Sylvester Stallone. I follow him on the gram, and what he said, he got pretty choked up. These guys were friends, man. These guys were friends. And we're just gonna give this brother his roses, man. Give this brother his roses. And I might reveal some things about him. Just some fun facts that you probably didn't know. So let's do this roll call real quick. My brother Mac of the South in the building. Anwar Willis, Jeff Spark, Comic Cons. Go subscribe to my brother Act Reacher over there at Comic Cons. Should be going live this afternoon around 1 or 1:30. Go subscribe to Comic Cons. There you go right there. Go click on his name and go give him a sub. He's seen and unseen boxing. Welcome. Josh, salute to you, good brother. Good to see you. Derek Gaines, the legend in the building. Mr. Shelton in the building. Steve Elder, Mac, Rampage fan. Teach, Michael Ray. Tay, morning. Main biker, y'all must have forgot. Showtime Majors. Reef the Watcher. Let's go. Let's get to it. So I go over to Wikipedia because I'm sure there's things that I missed about this brother. Let me move this picture real quick. There's some things that I missed about this brother, and there's some things that I did learn. Of course, Tat Lawson, G McCall, salute. Of course, I grew up. I was born in '75. By the time I got to know who Carl Weathers was as an actor, Young DJ, salute. Yeah. I knew him as Apollo Creed. That was how I was introduced to Carl Weathers, the actor. And if you grew up in the era that I grew up in, Carl Weathers had that, what I call the strong black man look. What do I mean by that? A strong black man that was he was the authority. He had an afro and a mustache. My father had that look in that era. Every black man had that look in that era. So when I see guys like Carl Weathers, when I first saw the movie Shaft, you know what I mean? You see that was a look back then. Had a little afro, right? Dark skin, the mustache, Village Brothers salute. Yeah, see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? See, that was a look. That was a look. See, that was a look. A strong authority. Shaft, and I'm gonna do a show on Shaft too. That's a whole thing because there was an ideology behind that. Okay. Because Shaft represented a black authority, a black man in power. And Hollywood did things behind the scenes to try and change the thought process behind that. D-Man, what's going on, brother? Yeah, that was a look, y'all. That was a look. See, that was a look, y'all. I'm telling you. And it was a proud look. It was a very proud look. But there was a whole thing behind Shaft that Hollywood tried to snake, and they did something else. But I'll talk about it when I cover it on that show. When I do the show about black male authority. I don't know what I'm gonna call the show yet. Black male authority. Black male role models in entertainment. Jim Brown had that look. Fred Williamson had that look. Jim Kelly didn't have the mustache, but think about it. Think about it, y'all. It was a look. Matter of fact, Carl Weathers, what was the name of the film? Well, I'm gonna go through the films. Y'all gonna have to remind me. But he was in, was it Three the Hard Way? Carl Weathers was in one of those films. But the wrestler, Rocky Johnson, The Rock's father. The Rock's father? Yes. Every black man that I seen with that look reminded me of my dad. It was a look. And I'm gonna tell you something. It made me very proud. It made me very, very proud. When I was a kid, I wanted to grow up and rock that mustache. You know, things have changed, you know, looks change, you know, but it gave you something to be proud of. It gave you something to be proud of. Let me show you something real quick. That's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, right? That's his father, Rocky Johnson. When I tell you that was the black man look, and it gave you something to be proud of. You understand? It gave you something to be proud of. You understand? Did you know that Rocky Johnson sparred some boxing rounds with George Foreman? That's just a little nerd fact right there. This is what I read. I can't deny or confirm. Of course, I was not there. But it was mentioned that he sparred some rounds with George Foreman. I don't know where. I don't know when. This is what I heard. I can't deny or confirm it, but that's what I heard. But you see his look? Look at his face. That was a look in the 70s. That was a look in the 70s into the 80s. And Shemaine, salute. Shepherd King. Kane, what's going on? Yeah, Avery Brooks. Yep. That's right. So when I saw Carl Weathers, as a young black kid, you take to them because you're watching them on TV. It's like, man, that's good. Yeah, look at them. That's good. And of course, Rocky was his breakout role. But prior to that, I pulled up, went to Wikipedia, and I pulled out his filmography. Did y'all guys know he played in the NFL? Played for the Raiders. Did y'all know that? There's actually video of him playing for the Raiders. A lot of the video, I didn't want to, YouTube gets real funky with certain things. I didn't want to put up, I didn't want to like upload any video because they're a little crazy. He played for the Oakland Raiders, and he was an undrafted free agent. He was just athletically gifted. They said right here he played 7 games with the Raiders, 1970. They won the AFC West division title. He was a strong safety. He only played 1 game in 71 before Raiders released him in 1971 after Coach John Madden told Weathers, "You're just too sensitive." F you, John. Oh man. He signed with the Lions in the CFL, the BC Lions in the CFL. He played with them until 73. Only played 13 games. He went to San Francisco State, earned a bachelor's degree in drama in 74. So he was taking his acting career very seriously. Then he pursued an acting career. In his NFL career, he appeared in 8 games in 2 seasons, but did not record any stats. Okay. Wow, that's interesting, man. Check this out, y'all. The brother stood 6'2" and weighed 220 pounds. Did y'all know he was that tall? Ain't that something? 6'2", 220. Man, ain't that crazy, man? While he was playing football, he worked as an extra. He had a lot of significant roles in blaxploitation films. Let's go down his filmography. He was a demonstrator in a movie called Magnum Force. This was 1973. This was 2 years before I was born. Then Friday Foster, he played a character named Yarrow. He played a guy named Hambone in Bucktown. I remember him in Bucktown because what happens, of course, what happens is what happened was once you see these guys in the breakout roles, you begin to do more research. There was no research in the 80s other than watching the movie late at night. And you say, oh, there go Carl Weathers. You know what I'm saying? What is this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. And my dad was the one that says, oh, man, that brother been around. I'm like, yeah? He's like, yeah, Rocky was in his first role. And he recalls seeing him, the Four Deuces, 76. He was the cab driver. And then Rocky as Apollo Creed. I didn't see Rocky with a critical eye until maybe 80, 81, when it was already like on TV, or, you know what I'm saying? Y'all remember Close Encounters of the Third Kind? He was a military officer in that film. I mean, this brother was working. Man. So Rocky was a breakout role. He did have work in between that. He was obviously in Rocky 2. He played Snug Dog in a movie called Death Hunt. I remember that. That was in 81. I remember that. I saw that on... Y'all remember HBO's rival movie network called WHT. Y'all remember that? How old are y'all? Y'all remember WHT? There's a little white antenna. Yeah. I believe that's where I saw that late one night. He played a guy named Snug. 85, of course, broke my heart when I'm like, damn, to this day, I'm like, man, they ain't have to kill Apollo and Rocky, man. But Rocky Balboa needed a supervillain. NBA D Nice, salute. Rocky Balboa, that character needed a supervillain. And at that time, the relationship, Shogun, what up? The relationship between America and Mother Russia was very, very bad. It was very bad. And, you know, they were like, nah, we ain't having it. We ain't having it. So, Stallone said, I need a supervillain, and we need to put this supervillain over. And he introduced Dolph Lundgren to the world, some big steroid, because he was on steroids, some big steroided Russian. And what could we do to put him over and to make this movie a blockbuster? You kill Apollo. And that movie came out when I was in 5th grade. Man, I remember being in the theater so pissed off, bro. I said, they really killed Apollo? Died in the ring. I said, damn it. I'm like, man, you couldn't like knock him unconscious. KD, what up? You couldn't knock him unconscious and him wake up and like, you know, comatose, but wake up at the end of the film and I can't feel my legs no more. But you know, thanks, Rock. You couldn't do that. You know, you killed him. Excuse me. Killed him. I was like, damn, man. That hurt. But you know, Hollywood has a weird way of bringing things back. You know, the Creed series, whatever. But yep, Friday Foster. That was a movie he was in with Pam Grier. He was running around with that German gun. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. And then 87, I was 12 years old. My dad, I'll never forget this. My dad came to pick me up. We were just driving around. He went to Arnett Strauss to get some parts for his car. And he said, yo, you want to see a movie? I said, yeah. So we walked in, Predator, saw it on a Saturday, and we caught the matinee. We were the first people there. And there goes Carl Weathers. Dylan, you son of a bitch. This has become iconic. I'm gonna tell you something about this picture, man. Let me tell you, because Carl Weathers, I mean, let me tell you something, man. Carl Weathers, yo, this is gonna sound like weird, but it's true. When I used to be in the boxing gym, when I was that age, you know, you're a kid. And I loved boxing movies, but Rocky was my favorite one. You know why? Because of Apollo. And I knew Apollo wasn't like the villain, but he was like, you know, he was the rival, not the villain, but the rival. And Apollo, the character Apollo, he was like the Muhammad Ali type, trash talking type. You know, he was what a black fighter was. Do you remember, what was it, Rocky 1, when Joe Frazier came into the ring to say hello to everybody? You remember that scene? And Frazier went up to Apollo. He says, now, come on, champ. You've been ducking me for a long time. And he was like, oh, yeah, you next, champ. You next. And Rocky was like, hey, they must know each other. They must be friends. Man. I was like, man. And Apollo You know, he was supposed to be the trash talking, highly skilled black champion. And I gotta tell you, bro, when I used to be hitting the bag in the gym, this is gonna sound crazy, but you gotta remember, I was a child. I was a child. I used to be envisioning that I'm Apollo hitting the bag. I'm not even kidding. And of course, I told y'all, Mitch Green used to come into the gym all the time, and there were a lot of real fighters that I liked. But you gotta remember, I was a child, and I had a child's mind. And when I was hitting that bag, there was times I was envisioning I was Apollo Creed. You know, there was teenagers in there. Oh, I'm giving this bag to Frazier left hook. Yeah. I'm the Sugar Ray Robinson hooks to the body. And I'm in my mind, I never said it out loud. I knew better. I'm Apollo Creed hitting this bag. Remember he was training for Rocky in the rematch? He was hitting the bag. I'm looking at the bag, and the trainer was like, yeah, look at this kid go. Look at this kid go. He's going to be a champion one day. In my mind, I'm like, I ain't think about all that. I'm hitting this bag thinking I'm Apollo Creed. Fuck that. Yeah, true, man. Mitch Green, bro. Roberto Clemente State Park in the Bronx had a boxing club. And Mitch used to come in there and beat everybody up, man. Mitch was for real. I mean, they clown him, you know, because he had to fight with Mike Tyson in the street. Mike hit him, and his eye was swollen for like a year. But Mitch could fight, bro. Mitch could fight. He come in there with summertime, he come in there with a fur coat with no shirt on, gold chains and a jerry curl, and some pretty woman with him. And he take his coat off and change right there in front of everybody. Who getting in this ring with me? Who want to get in this ring right now? Who want their ass kicked right now? Come on now. But Mitch could fight, man. Mitch could fight. And it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. Salute to Saints in that Cash App. Says he's also from my hometown of New Orleans. Oh, he sure is. You know, how could I go past that? Let me scroll back up here. Let me scroll back. It's very important where he's from. He's born in Louisiana, New Orleans, 1948, man. 1948. Yep, it's from New Orleans. Very, 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 very important, man. How could I skip past that? Thank you, good brother. Appreciate you. That Cash App, salute to you, good brother. Hey, Amanaz, how are you? Go subscribe to my sister, Amanaz. Hold up, let me take care of my family in here. Sometimes I don't have the other screen up. My bad. I'm handing out wrenches to the family. Take care, everybody. Give me 1 second, family. Okay, I got you. All right. Got everybody. Brian H., good morning, counselor. How are you? Yeah. And you know what's funny, Brian H.? You know what's funny? When I first saw Shogun of Harlem, sure enough, I remember saying, damn, that looked like Mitch Green. And he reminded me of Mitch Green. He reminded me of Mitch Green. That was funny as hell. So yeah, that Apollo was an iconic character, and I used to be in there like pretending in my mind, just hitting the bag. And the training session, no doubt, KD, the training section when Rocky got his mojo back, he said, there is no tomorrow. You remember how powerful that was? And Rocky 3 was iconic. I'm going to get back to this picture in a second, but Rocky 3 was iconic. Do you know why Rocky 3 was so important? And you know why? I'm going to tell you something, y'all. You know why the black audience appreciated Rocky 3? I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why Stallone is a genius for what he did. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Rocky 3 is probably the most pivotal Rocky movie in the entire franchise. I'm going to tell you why. Rocky became champion Apollo retires after he beats him in Rocky 2. And the only thing is that he got up first. And Apollo was too fatigued. He got up first. So Rocky goes on to become this rock star. And you see the beginning of the film, he's literally kicking everyone's ass. He had this one brother lifting him up off his feet. Stallone hit the gym, and Stallone revealed, Big Joe Townsend in the building, Stallone revealed his new physique. I mean, Stallone had a 12-pack. You know what I'm saying? And the Italian Stallion was on all cylinders, and he's knocking people out. Remember, they're showing the numbers of people he's knocking out, and the world loved him. There was also scenes from when Sylvester Stallone was on the Muppet Show. They put that in the Rocky movie to make you believe, oh, okay, he's not Stallone in the Muppet Show. He was Rocky Balboa on the Muppet Show. You understand? So there was some real stuff that they put in there, and then he has this big house, and he had the robot that talked, and he's doing well for himself. But then you see Clubber Lang at all of these his fights, and he's watching them, and he's walking out and watching them and walking. And at the time, Mr. T, who also was around prior to the Rocky movies, he was around prior to that. Rocky 3 was his breakout role. But more on Mr. T later on another Bear Cave episode. Then the infamous scene where they unveiled the statue, which is still in Philadelphia right now. They moved it from one location to another, though, but it's there. So he gets on there and starts talking about retiring or whatever, and then y'all know, say, woman, don't give the sucker a statue, give him guts. You know what I mean? And he says, I want to fight the guy. And Mickey was like, nope. And then he reveals to Rocky, yo, all those fights you had were setups. You lost it, kid. You're not who you used to be. You gotten comfortable. You remember what Marvin Hagler said? It's kind of hard to get up and work when you're sleeping on silk sheets. And Rocky took the fight. Mickey got sick. Mickey died before the fight. He didn't know he was dead, but he went out to the ring and Clubber destroyed him. Lost the belt. Mickey died. And he's lost, and enter Apollo Creed. Finds him at a gym. Now, here's why Rocky 3 was so important. Rocky Balboa was a hard-nosed, in-your-chest type of fighter. Like a Toro Gatti. Right? What Apollo did when he was watching film, he says, you know what, we're going to have to get this guy out early. But Rocky needs to change up some things. And what did Apollo Creed do? He took his ass. I think Apollo's character was from what, Detroit? And Rocky's brother-in-law, was an Italian man, and he was, he was a little racist because he didn't understand things. Took him to the hood, took him to the gym. And it was LA, right? Thank you. He's from Los Angeles. He took him to LA, took him to this gym. The gym froze. You know what I'm saying? He said, you see that look, Rock? They got the eye of the tiger. He said, you got to get that back, man. And the gym knew him. They knew, and they showed Rocky love. They showed Apollo love. And he had to help Rocky get that anger back, get that eye of the tiger back. Yeah, that's exactly what he said, Brian H. He said, it's tough to get out of bed and do road work at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping on silk pajamas. Marvin Hagler. Thank you. And Rocky was going through depression. Yeah, Derek Gaines, Tony Tubbs sure was in that scene. He sure was. So I'm watching it, and I remember my dad watching it, and I remember he had this smirk on his face. And I remember we left the theater, we got to my aunt's house, and he was talking to my uncles, He said, man, I just saw that Rocky. He said, yeah, go see it. Go see it. He was like, well, what is it, Junior? Because my dad is a junior. He's like, yeah, man, you know. And I remember my dad saying, Rocky was lost and Clubber done whooped that boy ass. And he said, Apollo came and saved him. Why? He said he had to teach Rocky how to fight like a black fighter.
What?
You remember that scene when he's showing Rocky how to be light on his feet, and in the mirror, he's showing him how to dance, be light on his feet, work a jab, and the fight looked totally different in the rematch. And then, but here's the thing. Rocky had to be a Marine. What do you know about Marines? All I know about, I don't know nothing about the military, but what I do know, I know a few Marines. Shout out to the Marines. But they said we always are trained to think outside the box. Sometimes you have to do something outside of your training in order to survive. And what Rocky did in that film was he thought outside the box. Apollo's training did help. But Rocky's, toughness, he figured out, this guy's going to gas out hitting me. I could take his punches. You remember that? Ain't so bad. You ain't so bad. You ain't nothing. Remember that? And he tied him out and Clubber Lang punched himself out and Rocky got him out of there. Yeah. It was a magnificent, when I go back and watch it now, it's a magnificent film. They talk about, never mind the Hollywood style choreography of the boxing match. That's right, Brian H. He rope-a-doped him. And that was how he paid tribute to Muhammad Ali. He rope-a-doped him. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that Rocky movie, Rocky 3, had so many gems in it. But after that film, I saluted Sylvester Stallone. Because the character had to go through a change. And Stallone's in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He really loves boxing. He really does. He really does. But that was a tough scene, man. And the ideology behind that. To my OGs, though, he lost points by killing Apollo in the very next film. I was like, God damn. But, yeah, man. Shout out to him representing that character Apollo Creed in Rocky 3 because he was instrumental in that. Yeah, Derek Gaines, you ain't know that? Sylvester Stallone's in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He is, because of the Rocky movies. Because of the Rocky movies, man. That's crazy. But fast forward, after Rocky 4, Carl Weathers pops up as Dylan in Predator. And this scene right here, right? This scene right here. Yeah, Tony Danza too. They love boxing. Man, Joseph Wiggins, salute. This scene right here. Y'all remember this scene in Predator, man? The biceps was popping. Bro, listen. You want to laugh? Back in the day, around when this movie came out, right? There was a video game called Contra. Right? It was a 2-player side-scrolling shoot 'em up game. Right? And me and my boy would play that game every Saturday, right? He lived across the street from me. It's my best friend, right? To this day. We laugh about, we see all these new games and shit. We were like, yo, man, remember we played Contra? This is back in 87, y'all. We be up on a Friday night. I used to, we spend the night at his house, or he come spend the night at my house, whatever. We be playing that Nintendo all night long, bro. And we played it in the arcade, and then Nintendo finally brought it to the home systems, right? And every time we beat a board, finally, we did this. And we looked down at our arms and shit. Yo, everybody at school, after they saw this scene in Predator, Everybody was doing this. It was crazy, bro. Oh man, my childhood was lit, bro. Childhood was lit, man. Oh man, we laugh about this recently. We was like, yeah, remember we used to do we used to do the Dylan and the Dylan pound, we called it. The Dylan pound. Man, this is funny as hell, man. That's funny as hell, man. Hell yeah. So he was in Predator, and he took an L in that movie. That goddamn thing he shot his fucking arm off. They did that scene just to get his arm shot off. Predator killed Dylan, whatever. And sidebar, phenomenal Mexican salute. Every time a brother died in a film, didn't you feel it? I don't care who he was. Remember when the brother died in Alien, the first one, Sigourney Weaver? Remember when the brother died? I was like, damn. I always felt like that when I was a kid. Man, why the black man gotta die? I always felt like that. And then after Predator, 1988. 1988. What happened in 1988? I'm going to show you. Wait a minute. Let me get it. There you go. There y'all go. Y'all know what time it is. Action Jackson, 1988. Carl Weathers, Craig T. Nielsen, Vanity, Sharon Stone. This movie right here, it came out at the right time. The absolute right time. It was the 80s. It was the 80s. Bro, listen, man. Listen, bro. Should I play? No, I'm not gonna do it. I would play the movie attraction, but YouTube be I'm not gonna play it because YouTube act real funky with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they act real funky with it. Let me read to you a little bit of what the plot is about this movie. This is one of my favorite action movies. And listen, when this came out, bro, let me tell you, my brother saw this first. You're a little older than me. So my brother saw this first, right? And when he came home and told me, he said, yo, you gotta see this film. I said, what? He said, yo, Carl caught wreck in this film. I was like, what? He said this shit had everything. Ridiculous fight scenes, explosions, one-liners. Oh my gosh, bro. He said, you got to see this eventually. And how old was it? This came out in 88. I was 13. So when I did go see this, we actually, it was stupid. They wouldn't let us in to see these films, like me and my friends. So what we did was we bought tickets for another film. And right when it started, we ran into the other theater. That's the line right there. That's the line. How do you like your ribs? Boom. He shot him with a whole bazooka. Bro. This movie was outstanding, bro. I wanted a sequel. Let me read to you some facts about this film. Well, here's a plot. He's a detective sergeant, Jericho Jackson, known locally as Action Jackson, was a celebrated lieutenant on the police force. See, he was a celebrated lieutenant. He had been demoted nearly 2 years prior because of a case he headed involving the criminal son of a successful businessman, Peter Anthony Delaplane. Fallout over the case also collapsed Jackson's marriage and put the Harvard Law School educated star athlete and hometown hero at odds with the public. So one case kind of like messed him up. Oh man, so there's a lot of, I don't want to ruin it for you. You guys take some time and watch this film, man, in celebration of Carl Weathers. But it wasn't like a just thrown together film. There was a story. The plot is great. He's taken down the dude with the big bucks that was involved in crime, Craig T. Nelson. And he saves a drug addicted woman. That was Vanity, who was fine as hell in this movie. And Craig T. Nelson really played the hell out of that role, man. He played a villain, man. That brother can act. Y'all know Craig T. Nelson. He was in the TV show Coach, which was hilarious. You ever watch Coach? Oh, jeez. Remember Dauber? Oh my God, I must have seen every episode of Coach. I think in the last season he finally he went from coaching a college team and he finally got his shot to coach an NFL team. And he said something on a hot mic and almost goofed himself up. It was funny as hell. But I recommend Craig T. Nelson and Coach. The TV series is funny. This came out February 12th, 1988. Watch this, y'all. The budget for this film was $7 million. Shade Girl, salute, sis. $7 million was the budget for this film. You ready for this? $7 million for Action Jackson. That was the budget. You know how much that money it grossed? $65 million. $65 million. Now there is something that I do want to try and play this. Oops, can't spell this morning. He had a but there's a soundtrack for it. But he had a what was it? The Pointer Sisters? The Pointer Sisters. I can't. All right. They had it was the star song for the movie, right? And this is a video for it. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. But you know how YouTube is. It was called He Turned Me Out. I remember this. And this was for the movie Action Jackson. There was Paul right there. There you. There you, y'all. I got to stop it in between so they don't they don't ask me to remove the whole segment. When I tell you Carl Weathers reminds me of my pops so much, I'm telling you, bro. telling you. Fair use. This brother remind me of my father, bro. I'm not even kidding. My pops and I got a similar build. I'm just like 3 inches taller than him. And sidebar, you know, he could have had them right there, right? Oh man, Carl Weathers was that dude, bro. $7 million budget. It made $65 million, man. 65. You heard it. You heard it there. I'm not. That's all I'm gonna play. He turned me out. What do you think they're talking about, man? Come on now. Vanity was in the video. Come on now. Come on now. Rest in peace to the sister Vanity. She passed. Yeah. That was for Action Jackson. That was a breakout role. I thought there'd be a sequel because I mean, god damn, 7 million. My God, you made your money back off that. And it was a real film, man. Craig T. Nelson was popping back then. You know, if you haven't seen Action Jackson, find it and watch it. It is so 80s. It is so 80s. It is so 80s, man. I really appreciated that film, man. I really did. Absolutely. Salute Chi-Town's finest. Yeah. Bill Duke was in that film too. He said, you ripped that boy's arm off. He said he had a spare. I was like, yo, he ripping people's arms off? Ooh. So Action Jackson, 1988, is actually it says right here, nominated NAACP Image Awards for Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture. Yeah. You don't give out those, super duper awards for action movies. I understand. And again, it was the 80s, but that was his film, bro. That was his film, man. He took a little hiatus, came back in 1992 as Hurricane Smith, Billy Hurricane Smith. I don't recall seeing that. It was another action movie. He shaved the mustache for that. It was released in Australia. That's probably why I didn't see it. It's also known as Dead of Delivery. I know that name. Sometimes, yeah, I do remember that. And the poster is similar to Action Jackson. But sometimes you try and follow up with you try and follow up. Yeah, I'm getting to that, young Deezy. You try and follow up and capture the same magic that you had in the previous film, and you try and follow up with different films just to see what's going on, and you don't have the same magic in the other films. You get kind of typecasted. Stallone was an 80s action star. Schwarzenegger, the same character he was in Predator was the same character he was in Commando. You know, Stallone went from Rocky to John Rambo to the Cobra. Remember, he played Cobra, and I think he was like a cop or something in that. And you know, so I do remember that movie, Hurricane Smith. I do remember that. I never watched it though, so I, you know, probably didn't do as well. Then he showed he showed up in Happy Gilmore, bro. Did you did you know in Happy Gilmore he played Derek Peterson? Remember he played Chubbs, right? Did you know that same character showed up in Little Nicky in 2000? The same character. So he can also do comedy, and that was funny as hell, man. I said, "Oh shit! Look, he Chubbs was in he was in Little Nicky, man. Let me see if I can grab that clip. Chubbs. Oops. Oh, okay, I'm definitely not gonna play this scene. I'm definitely not. Okay, I'm not gonna do that because YouTube will be like, no, 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 no. You can't fail your way out of this one, there, buddy. I ain't gonna do it. But Chubbs was in Little Nicky. I was like, oh shit, he brought the character back. Oh, that was funny, man. Eight Crazy Nights, Balto, Wings of Change. Yeah, yeah. He was also a voice actor. He was also a voice actor, y'all. And he played Combat Carl in Toy Story 4. You remember that? So it was clearly him. It was a black action figure. It was clearly him. He was in Think Like a Man, Mr. Davenport. I remember that. And he was what was it? He was on one of those cartoons. That was like one of his last. But did you know he played Jax in? He played the voice of Jax, Major Jackson Briggs, in Mortal Kombat. That was Carl Weathers' voice. So the brother was busy, man. The brother was busy, man. Let me take you to some of his television work. He was in an episode of Good Times, Cannon, $6 Million Man. Interesting. In the episode of a $6 Million Man, he played a character called Stolar. The episode was one of our running backs is missing. Now, why would they do that? He was in. He played Bad Sam in Kung Fu. He was in an episode of Starsky and Hutch. Barnaby Jones. You remember Barnaby Jones? Man, this brother was busy. Quinn Martin's Tales of the Unexpected. Wow, haven't seen that in forever. Oh man, look at if you put his name in Wikipedia, all of this stuff. This brother was always busy, man. Law and Order. Magnum PI, you remember that? And the latest thing that we saw, he played Greef Karga in The Mandalorian, whom I heard that character was only supposed to be in one episode. But he did so well. He killed that role so well. They brought him back, and he actually directed one of the episodes. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, he was in the Heat of the Night. Man. And that brother worked, man. That brother worked. And we lost a gem. We really did, man. And Carl Weathers is an icon. And when I let this marinate, it hurt. It really did. It hurt, man. It really did, man. Because Jay Grant, salute, good brother. Let me make sure my brother's wrenched up. Okay. All right. This hurt, bro. It really did, man. When I let it marinate, this wasn't one of those things like, oh man, we lost another actor. When I sat back, I said, wait a minute, man. I really looked. I like, I looked up to him. You know why? He, I mean, I don't know him, never met him or nothing like that, but he, I don't think he ever sold himself. I don't think he ever did. I don't think he ever sold himself. Everything that he has, I'm sure, he has some, a great managing team, and, Carl, we got some work for you. You want to do it? Yeah. Yeah, Jose, he was a great actor too. I didn't know he could do comedy until I saw him in Happy Gilmore. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. And what was the TV show he was on? Where he played himself? What was that? When he played himself? What was that? What was that? What was the TV show where he played himself? Damn, I can't think of it. There was a TV show he was on where he played himself. Oh, Arrested Development. Arrested Development. He played himself. And that was funny. He made fun of himself the whole time he was on there. He was always on like some sort of budget. I saw an episode where, because I was flicking channels, I never watched Arrested Development. I heard great things about it. But one of the characters was about to throw away a piece of a rib. He was like, yo, don't throw that out. He said, you take this home, you put it in the pot with a potato, you get a whole stew going. I said, oh shit. He was funny, man. He was on the episode of Saturday Night Live where he played Jesse Jackson. Funny, man. So the dude was very talented. He was a great actor. Great actor. I wanted Hollywood to bring back Action Jackson. This is just me talking right now. I don't know if they thought that film would do that well. And it overachieved. And I don't know. This is just me thinking out loud. Maybe they said, we got Arnold, we got Stallone, Van Damme is coming up, Chuck Norris is still around. We don't need this Negro coming around and, fucking up. We got some things going. We got some Europeans in Van Damme and Arnold. We got the Americans and Stallone and Chuck. We don't need no niggas running around here, whatever. And the truth be told, they could have did back then. They could have did an Expendables back then. They could have did an Expendables movie back then, but everybody had their own brand back then. They could have did an Expendables back then, and Carl Weathers could have been in that film. In fact, in the Expendables that they released, I was saying, man, Stallone, this is the perfect time to hit up Carl Weathers. He'd have been dope in that film to whatever capacity. If he's just standing there with a radio, you put Chuck Norris in it, he's like 104. And shout out to Chuck Norris. Yeah, he was on the episode of Psych. Yeah, I remember that. But I think that movie overachieved, and they were like, uh-oh. So they kind of like dimmed his light a little bit. And then when he popped up in that Australian movie, the poster looks very similar to Action Jackson, but he shaved his mustache. I didn't even watch it. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna watch it. I don't think it's as good because it's not spoke about. $7 million budget. You made $65 million. The ends was meeting like a motherfucker. Yeah, main biker. He was 76. Stallone is 77, and Stallone looks great. And sometimes things just happen, bro. Sometimes things just happen. I don't know if he had any ailments, but I don't think he ever sold himself. The man was just hard working. He was everywhere. Look up Carl Weathers on Wikipedia. That guy has a body of work since 1973. He was playing pro football and acting on the side. The man is a hard worker, and I don't think he's celebrated enough. That's why I'm doing this show. From everything from acting to voice acting, he must have had some great managers around him, because he never won anything. Apollo was the breakout role, but he's always been around doing things, and he made a living doing this. I didn't hear anything about drug problems. I didn't hear any, homosexual stories. I don't even know if he's homosexual. I don't know. I know he had a couple of children or whatever, but listen, we ain't hear no deep Hollywood secrets. And if they come up now, I'm not hearing it. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Don't drag this man's name. He's a mother effing icon, bro. Carl Weathers is an icon. Respect that man's name. Respect that man's name, man. And don't violate him. That boy, exactly, Jose. This man put in work. This man put in work. Come on, man. Yeah, he probably did, main biker. Stone probably did. I didn't do no research on that. I know Arnold had heart surgery. But Arnold openly admitted he used to juice. All that stuff catches up to you, man, for real. So yeah, man, this guy's an icon, man. Salute to Carl Weathers, man. I can't say enough good things about him. I didn't know him as a person. I don't know him as a family man. I don't know that. But we're celebrating what he's done. Oh yeah, main biker, of course. Oh, by the way, before I forget, his TV show was dope as hell. Street Justice. There was 44 episodes of that. Street Justice. And look, in the intro of the movie, the intro of the was it Street Justice? Didn't he have 2 series? Hold on a minute. Where he'd be getting dressed, because the brother had a physique, and he'd be getting dressed and he put on the shirt to show his pecs and stuff. It was eye candy for the women. But Street Justice was a damn good. I mean, this brother put in work. He was the main role for that. Yup, and In the Heat of the Night. This guy put in work, man. No tricks. No alleged selling of your soul. I don't know nothing about that. That was never floating around. I respect his gangster in Hollywood like how I respect Denzel Washington's, man. And this guy is not spoken up enough. But that's why we here in the cave. We're giving him all of his roses. I just never thought we'd have to talk about him after this, because, this guy's been around forever. We didn't hear that he was sick or nothing like that. This just happened. And salute to Carl Weathers, man. Icon. Not only a black icon, he's an icon in Hollywood. All the actors were on Instagram talking about how they love that man. He's a great guy, man. Great guy, man. So salute to Carl Weathers, man. I'm going to get out of here because I got to work today. And thank y'all guys for coming to the cave, hanging out with me. Boxing got me so messed up. I might be doing Bear Cave twice a week. So y'all make sure y'all like and share the video. You know what I mean? And haven't decided yet, but definitely Fridays we're going to be in the cave, man. So keep an eye out. You know what I'm saying? And salute to Carl Weathers. We in the cave, and I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Love y'all. Have a great day.